it's me, Alex, and this video is kind of an experiment because I haven't done something like this never ever. In this video, I'm gonna be remaking the character from my first speed paint on this channel. So before this, I want to tell you something about her. So the first artwork I drew when I was 11 years old, that was like 2 years ago. I'm 13 now. And originally she was an elf from like the story I wrote. She was supposed to have like some galaxy power, so I gave her this beautiful shirt. Her name is Cassiopeia, for short Cassie. The original was quite well. I didn't know the color theory back then, and I kinda wanted to go like super overboard with the detailed shading, but I didn't know how to do this. So I just blended the darker color, which is, that was terrible. I blended just the darker color with the original color, not even changing a hue a little bit. So that was my big mistake. The first redraw of her is here. That was this year in 2019, but I was 12 and I tried like an anime art style. Plus, I wanted to keep her shirt similar. So I made her outfit look a little different. It's pretty much all I did. The original outfit I wanted for her to be was like a dress, an old dress, but I didn't know how to achieve that, so I just left this shirt. And the third one is actually a lot different. So I'm gonna be showing you the speed paint now. I started with choosing a brush. I decided on a rough one, so I started with the face. This time I remembered to put the ears on and the little and like this hairstyle. I forgot how to call it, but that was what I originally wanted to do with her. Second thing is her face was like super smiley first, but then the pose didn't match, so I was like, oh, let's make her shy, and gave her this little smile. So then I designed the shape of her dress to be like more, just to look a little bit older. As you see, first time I tried to like save the original look of her thing around the neck that I forgot the name of, but then I just made the sketch a little bit bigger and placed it where I wanted it to be, which is in the center. Then I tried to drew like some background sketch. I wanted her to be like in a cave, because on the original I wanted her to like caves, just because for the pretty scenes. And I tried to draw this cave, but I didn't really know how to do this. So here's the be right back. I went to look for the reference, and here it is. I started drawing cave from the reference. Basically the shape is the same, so no need to talk about this. Then I started to really roughly sketch the diamonds that were in the back, and I think it came out pretty well. Then I started lining. I think I improved on lining ever since I did the redraw of this. So yeah, I chose like this kind of I don't know how to call this brush, but I liked it anyway. But anyway, I liked it very much, and yeah, I started to draw her eyes. As you can see, my art style changed a little bit. I started adding these lashes just to give her more character. I was really inspired by Lavender Town, and it actually helped me when I started to do the lining right after the rat sketch. So it was pretty nice. Thank you, Lavender Town, for inspiring me. So yeah, then I drew her dress. Her her shirt underneath, and finish the hairstyle. Here I'm lining the sleeves. A little tip that I'm gonna give you on lining is to keep the thicker lines outside of the character, or if you're giving them inside, make sure not to just make them thick randomly, but like separate things. Like for example, when I have these lines inside of the sleeves, I don't want it to like melt I want it to like melt into the rest of the lining. So I'm making the line inside a little bit thicker. Anyway, I started lining the background. Sorry for the sound, I just get a message, or it was like an update from anime website. Anyway, yeah, I started to shoot escape, nothing very special to talk about here. And then lining the diamonds. It was pretty hard to me when I first time tried it. I was actually the first time drawing like the diamond background. It was very interesting experience. I don't think it came out like super good, but it definitely could have been worse, and I'm kind of proud of how it came out. I have never drawn caves earlier, so yeah, I tried adding a little bit of texture to it by rendering it without a script. Then I chose like the main color I wanted to be, so I just made a gradient and decided this like kind of similar to cyan and all that. Anyway, I then chose the colors that would match the background. You know, I set the layer with the main colors on a multiply, and then added the colors under this just to see if they match. Then I just I did like more detailed. I filled it with color like I forgot the word, but you know what I mean. These were just the base colors, and I just like forgot the word. I'm not English, sorry. I decided to make the like this place that is way more far away, a little bit darker, just not to have so much trouble with shading. Anyway, then I started shading the diamonds, and here you have the be right back. So I started shading diamonds, and to shade the diamonds, I actually didn't know, and I still don't know where the light source is coming from. I mean, I knew where the light source is, but I don't know what it is. But I just wanted some glow to be in this diamond, like to give them some diamond-like texture. Why I don't know where the light source is, because actually the diamonds are light sources. So yeah, they're giving off like this pink light. Oh, and I had a little bit of trouble with shading this little diamond that I'm shading right now, but the thing in here covered it a little bit so you can see. Then I started adding shadows. I added them actually carefully, just not to touch the line art. I just, it's like just to give like this glow thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but it seems like more shiny when you add it this way instead of just, I started adding the lights. I'm actually kind of proud of how it came out though when I'm looking back at this. I think I'm gonna show it to my art teacher. Anyway, then I like used a brush to give like this diamond light. I made another layer. I copied this layer and just erased everything because I was too lazy to make the, just another layer. Erased everything and just added like closer shadow, I think. Then I started to shade with blue on a multiply layer. I had quite a trouble with shading here, as you can see, but then it came out a bit better. You know, I'm just not very good with shading when it comes to light sources. Anyway, the shading style that I chose was like oh my god, I forgot the name of this shading. Oh, cell shading. That was a cell shading, and what I was forgetting the names. And then I started lighting. I lighted with like a pink color, very bright pink color, but then it didn't kind of much, so I decided to do these little dots, which I regretted later because my hand started to hurt, and it hurt so much. It's so much more difficult when you do it on a tablet. You see, my hand hurts. It's so much more difficult when you do it on a tablet than when you do it on a paper. But it was worth it because I really like the effect. I really like how it came out. It gave it like kind of a texture. It looked kind of like there was some kind of plants. I don't know how to call it. I forgot again, but like it's like this fluffy plant that is in a forest usually. Yeah, but I made these dots. Oh my god, why did I name it like this? Anyway, I lowered the layer opacity a little bit and added another add layer. Just to, OBS. Just to, lighting it a little bit better. And as you can see, I'm correcting the line art right now, just to separate the hand from the rest. And just control the line thickness a little bit. I think I improved on it a lot. I'm kind of proud of myself. Then I started adding the colors, and I actually chose the hues from the original drawing. Here I added this pink on her belt, but I was like, no, it doesn't match. Then I started to do like the galaxy sleeves. The first take was like on a pastel. It was kind of pastel, but then I decided to make it a little bit more saturated and less bright. I mean, the bright colors were extremely bright, but the ones that weren't bright weren't bright at all. I added a little bit of darker colors to it and blended it out a little bit. And then I added stars with this beautiful brush in Clip Studio that I really like to use. And I was just too lazy to draw the same texture on her socks, on her stockings. So I just copied and pasted the ones from sleeves. And then I decided to give one to the belt because, it just looked better like this. This pink didn't really match the like purple violet hue. I tried on picking the same hue as on the original drawing if it's about her skin, but it was way too dark and too gray. She looked kind of like a zombie. So then I colored her eyes and hair. I made her eyes very bright, which I usually do when I draw my characters, so yeah. And then started shading. I know it might look a little bit weird when I shade like this, when the multiply layer is on like 100%. But believe me, when you lower the opacity, it looks a lot better. Then I started to shade the hair. I started to leave like spaces in here just to blend them out a little bit because it looks nice. Now I actually found a little bit better brush for like this natural blending, but anyway, I started shading her eyelids and eyes. The mistake that I made was erasing the shadow instead of leaving it and then highlighting with the add layer. Anyway, then I shaded the dress. It wasn't that difficult, but I still kind of struggled. but I still kind of struggled with it. You know, my knowledge about the light sources isn't that big, but I tried to do it. I tried to do my best. I didn't, as you see, I didn't shade the, oh, I started shading the face again. I don't remember this. Oh yeah, I started shading again. Oh, I know what I did. I made all the layers. I merged all the layers. Just to, you know, to be able to shade on them easier. And no way I did it better, I just felt salty over what I did earlier. So yeah, as you can see, I didn't shade the sleeves and the belt because they were also giving off some light, but I didn't include them as light sources because I was just too lazy. I'm a lazy artist, I'm sorry, that's why I don't get videos often. Just kidding, okay? Don't blame me. I just have school. Then I started like lighting, that's all, and I noticed a problem. Skin color was a little bit too bright, so the shading is not visible. And when I try to make it on like normal red layer, it doesn't come out as good. So it doesn't come out as good and it makes it less bright. So I just covered her face in the shadow, and I don't know what I did next because I didn't write a script. Yes, I just did that. Oh yes, and then I started adding like the odd layer on the sleeves and all that, and gave her a little outline. I didn't know which color to use, but I decided to use like white color. Then I added my Instagram account nick. I tried changing fonts, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again. Bye!
Baby hotline, please hold me close to you. Baby flatline, still time to do it too. Baby snack time, chow down to her butt, her head she's a whore.